Wow, sorry, I was unmuted, so I have to take that again. So my name is Abdul Hafiz Abdul Salam, and I will be introducing you on how to typeset with LaTeX. So the first thing that will come to your mind is what LaTeX is. So, and I will start by addressing that question. So what is LaTeX? So LaTeX is an advanced freely available software, system for document preparation. And you pronounce LaTeX, LaTeX or LaTeX. So any which way is all right. So I'll give you a brief history before we move to what LaTeX can be used for. Now, in the early 1970s, so in the 1970s, Donald Knott created TeX for typesetting. Then the TeX used a low-level command. Then Leslie Lamport gave a macro language for TeX. So that's why we have LaTeX. So the LAD should stand for Lamport. So now LaTeX uses a high-level language. Why the TeX itself was kind of complicated to use. The TeX that Donald Knott found in the 1970s is kind of complicated to use. So we have LaTeX, so which has been made easy. So LaTeX is a macro language. LaTeX is a macro language for TeX. Yeah. So I will explain macros. That's the last thing on our table of content, on our content. Macros is the last thing. So what can LaTeX be used for? LaTeX can be used for text formatting, so producing high quality structured documents with complex mathematical equations. So you can use LaTeX to create graphics, 2D or 3D. So I would like to share, okay, the next one is producing PDF animations. So I would like to share just how you can see that. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Like the screen of my desktop is visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you for the confirmation. So this is a PDF animation. So we have this is a Rubik cube. So you can see create animations, PDF animations with LaTeX. So that's a Rubik cube. And we also have this tetrahedron, so which was also done using TeX. So we can use LaTeX to produce PDF animations.
You want to present?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we are back. So you can use it to create special documents like scientific reports, curriculum vitae, which is your CV. So we have the modern CV class, which you can use to create that. So we can use it to typeset mathematics. So we can use it to create presentations like this one that we are using here. So what LaTeX is not? So what can LaTeX not do? So LaTeX is not a word processor. It's not like your Microsoft Word. So LaTeX does not spell check your document. Perhaps you are typing in Microsoft Word and you make a typographical error, then it corrects it. Here, there is no correction for your typographical errors. So LaTeX does not provide WYSIYG. So the meaning of that is what you see is what you get. So it does not provide that kind of editing experience. So LaTeX does not provide that. For instance, you are typing on Word, and then you change the font to Times New Roman and you print it out, then it will always remain that way, Times New Roman. But here, you'll be typing in plain text, but your output will not be plain text. So it will be something entirely different. So it does not provide that kind of editing experience. So LaTeX does not do spreadsheet calculations, does not do that. So, and it does not create a web page, okay? Now, why should you use LaTeX now that we've told you what LaTeX does not do? So LaTeX can be used to do professional typesetting. It has advanced document features. You can do cross-referencing very easily here. Bibliographies and indexing. So they are easily done here. LaTeX is free and open source. It is stable and compatible, and you can customize it to whatever function you want to get from whatever function you need. So, and focus on content. Here on LaTeX, we focus on what you actually want to do. For instance, this particular beamer I'm using for you, I did not have to focus on the colors, I didn't focus much on the colors. I didn't focus much on many things. I was just focusing on the content, what I want to present today. So focus on content. So we move to getting started with LaTeX. So I have informed you guys to get a VapTech. So the phone app, either on your, okay. So either on your, it should be on your phone. So it's on App Store, Play Store. So installing LaTeX. So you can use LaTeX more easily on your computer system. So, and one of the disadvantage of that VapTech you see there is that you can only create 3 files, and perhaps if you subscribe to their premium, then you get more additional features. But here, if you have the online software on your computer system, then you don't need to worry about those things. So the maximum number of files you can create on the VapTech that is on your phone is just 3. So let's continue. So now the first step is to install LaTeX on your computer. So LaTeX is available on Windows, on Mac operating system, the Linux, and the Linux. So there are several LaTeX distributions to choose from, such as TechLive and MikTeX. So these are the 2 major tech distributions we have. We have other ones, but they are not as popular as these 2. So Linux users prefer to use TechLive, and a Windows user like me, I prefer to use MikTeX. But TechLive can be used on both on both Windows and Linux. Likewise, MikTeX. Now, these distributions include the LaTeX compiler. So the compiler, PDF LaTeX. So necessary packages and other tools needed for document preparation. So during installation, you will get access to various LaTeX editors. So these editors provide a more user-friendly interface for writing LaTeX code, syntax highlighting, and other useful features that will facilitate your document creation. Okay. Let's continue. Now, choosing a LaTeX editor. LaTeX documents are plain text files with special markup commands. So I've explained this earlier on. So while you can write LaTeX code using a simple text editor, LaTeX editors enhance the experience significantly. TeXworks and TeXstudio are standalone editors that are easy to use. TeXworks come bundled with MikTeX. Okay, all these are not just stories, so let me look for a better way to explain this to you. So now, when you install MikTeX, because we share the link, when you install MikTeX from that link, you download it on your Windows or any other system you are using, then this TeXworks here comes bundled. This TeXworks here comes bundled with your MikTeX. So TeXworks and TeXstudio, when we say they are standalone editors, it means that they are just independent. So Text Studio on its own, you can just install that from the internet. It's just about 50 MB. So now Overleaf is an online editor. So Overleaf is an online editor which allows you to work collaboratively with others. So you can collaborate using Overleaf. You can collaborate with Overleaf. Good. Maybe you have someone you are working with in the US, in the UK, just Google Overleaf, then you'll see how you can collaborate with that. Now, Overleaf is an online editor which allows you to work collaboratively with others and access your documents from anywhere with an internet connection. So VS Code can also be transformed to a powerful LaTeX editor with LaTeX extensions. So now, let me explain these stories. Now, if you have VS Code on your system, so I also have VS Code here. Okay. If you have it on your system, then you can save it. Let me show you that. Okay. So you can see my desktop, right? Can you confirm that? So
Yeah.
okay, good. So this is VS Code here. Okay. Okay, so we have this now. So if you scroll up here, you will see BibTeX. So you see it has a lot of stuff here. So this is LaTeX here. So you can also save your file in LaTeX here. So you don't really need an editor in that sense. So you don't really need an editor in that sense. Let me see. Good. So you can just save your file with VS Code. Then you run it on you can use your command prompt to run your text file, actually. So I think I should show that also. It's fast. So let me look at this Beamer text here. Okay, let's delete the PDF. Then on that folder, I type the CMD and I do PDF LaTeX Beamer test text. So that's it on the command prompt. So it's done already. So when I check here, you see that the Beamer test PDF is out. So in essence, you can actually use your command prompt. You can use your command prompt to run your LaTeX code. So let's go back to the presentation. So I've showed you that already. So I deleted the PDF and you can see the PDF is back there. So it's part of the presentation. You see that. Okay, now creating a LaTeX document. So if you are using VarbTeX, you can open your VarbTeX if you are just installing it and clear out. Maybe you open the first file there and you clear out all the stuff that is there. So if you want, I want you to create this simple LaTeX file here. So I will do that with you also, guys. So I will use TechWork. I'm sharing the entire screen. Please, can you see the screen? The entire screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good.
Yes.
So the first thing to do is to save, right? So let's save with, let me use, which one can I use? Okay, let's use this folder. So maybe I save with my name, or I save with test run or test file. So I save. Then you start with your document class. So all of this will be explained in the sequel. So you start with your document class. You use this format, the article format. Then you start with your begin environment, so begin document. end document, and you do hello LaTeX. So this LaTeX here is a special character here, so you can run it on its own. Then you press Ctrl T if you are using TechWork. So if you just installed MikTeX on your system, so MikTeX comes bundled with TechWork. So search for TechWork on your computer system, then you can load it. So it's like it's hidden. So that means you don't really need to install an additional editor if you've installed MikTeX. So you press Ctrl T here, or you click this this green button, then it runs, then you get your output here. So you can see it here. I think I wrote 3 L's. So you can see that it does not provide spell checking feature. So we have that. So that is a simple file you should do. So let's go back to the presentation. So that's a simple file you can do. Hello LaTeX. So now run the text file using the CMD. Okay, I did that before, but let's do it with this simple file. So let's go to my system again. Let's go to my screen. So let me locate that folder. Say app.office. Okay, new folder. So you can see it there. So I'll delete this PDF and I'll delete this WinRAR file. So okay, it's open. So I have to close it here, then try again, then it will delete. So now I will type CMD in that folder. I will type CMD. That's the command prompt. That's the abbreviation for command prompt. Then you type PDF LaTeX. Then the name of my file is abdulhafiz.tech. Then it runs. So it has finished. You can see that it has brought out another of that. So you see the PDF here. So I open the PDF. You see hello LaTeX. So now I've shown you that you can use your command prompt to run a text file. So let's continue. Okay. So now running the text file using TechWork, Ctrl T. We've discussed that earlier. Okay. Now LaTeX has several templates selected using document class. Now we have different classes. Article for this is proceedings for proceedings. Maybe did a conference and you want to create a proceedings. So you want to create a proceeding. So minimal, standalone, report for reports, book for books, memoir for memoirs. So letter for letter. So I need to write a letter. So these are document classes. So and the beamer is for the presentation. So like this is a beamer presentation that I'm delivering. Now, basic terminologies. So here are some basic terminologies used in LaTeX command. So when you're using LaTeX and you want to perhaps discuss with someone, then you just be like, oh, when you use backslash and one of those things. So these are some terminologies that you need to know. So anything that starts with a backslash followed by a command name is called a command. So like begin. So
Hello, are you still there? Since the network is Hello.
Okay, please wait. I'm facing some connection issues. Maybe you give me some minutes.
Okay.
Just give us 2 minutes. Network issue. We'll revert right away.
Okay, I guess I'm back in. Hello, sir. Seems the phone.
We are with you, sir.
Okay. Give me some seconds, please.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, I'll share my screen now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry for the interruption. That was a network interruption.
No
Continue.
problem.
Okay, now we stopped at basic terminologies. So, environment. So, what do we call an environment? So, an environment is what starts with begin and ends with end. So, when you see those two things, so which is a pair, so it's called an environment. Okay. Yeah. So when you see those two things, it is called a pair. So which is an environment. Now, the preamble. Whatever comes before the document class is called the preamble. So whatever comes before this begin document, everything before it is called the preamble. So that's where you define some macros and some other things, and you use your packages. Now, math mode for typesetting mathematics. If you want to typeset mathematical content, you need to use this dollar. Some minutes, please. Okay, so you need these dollar notations. You need these dollar notations to type mathematical content. So, or this, you need this command to type a mathematical content. So, show you that. Let's go to screen. Let's use step 1. So let's use the previous file. Can you see my screen, please?
Sure.
Okay, good. Thank you. So maybe you want to, let me try this. So you want to do an integration from 0 to infinity of maybe this function. You have something like this. So you can easily type mathematical content. Okay.
How are you? He's not in the office.
So that should do. Okay. So that's what I was trying to type. So you can see that is a mathematical content. So if you want to type anything that is mathematics, so you need to use, either you use this or this. So that's the dollar notation we discussed earlier. Now, the difference between both of them is that the one with the dollar notation is used for typing inline mathematics. Like I can type, I want to evaluate this integral. So to come on the line. So you can see that it's staying on the line. So that's what we mean by inline math mode. So that's what the dollar, this single dollar stands for, inline math mode. So now, maybe this is for a new paragraph, then I come down. If I put the double dollar, then it stands for display math mode. Then you see that that comes down. So similarly with this, but this one is usually more to the left than the other one. So you can see that the two of them here performed the same function. So this double dollar and this backslash with the square bracket and backslash with the square brackets, the other one closing it. So for typing mathematical content, it's quite easier than using Word to type some of these things. Okay, let's continue the presentation. So now, like hash for Python, comments in LaTeX starts with the percentage symbol. So maybe you want to add a comment in your work, in your body, to make your codes readable. So let's do that. So you could just do something like this. So this is for display math mode. So that will not show on the PDF. So you can see that you can't find it there. So this percentage symbol is used for adding comments to make your codes readable. So I could come here to write something like this now. You have to define the sec h echo.
Excuse me, sir.
So you have to define the sec h command. Let's just start. So you have to define the sec h command. So no, on a normal day, you cannot write that in the preamble. So if I run this now, maybe I remove the comment, and you see that it will not run. So you can see that this error message. So it will not run. So when you put the comment, so in essence, you cannot write English, your English, you can't write it in the preamble. Maybe you just want to start writing sentences. So you can't write that in the preamble. But when you use this comment, when you use the percentage sign, then it becomes a comment. So that will just make your work readable. That will make your work readable. So let's continue. So now arguments in commands. So this is important. Let me annotate now. So this is a required argument. What you see here with these curly braces, they are called required arguments. That is, you cannot just write document class without writing anything, or you just write it with empty braces. You can't do that. So something has to be there. Something is required to be there. So that is called the required argument. Now let's go to the optional argument. So you can see what I said here. They are included in curly braces and they must be included. You cannot write it on its own. Maybe just write document class on its own to give you an error message. And you cannot write it with braces without putting anything inside. So now let's go to optional arguments. So now optional arguments are enclosed in square brackets. So this is it here. So they are contained rather in square brackets. Now they can be left out. So they can be left out. That is, you can just erase all of this and nothing will happen, like the one we did earlier on. So you can see from here, let's go back to my screen. We have it here. So you can see from here, this document class that I have highlighted, you can see that there's no option here.
Excuse me, Mr. Hafiz. Excuse me.
Okay, go on.
The editor, is there a way you can make the size bigger? We are struggling to see it. The editor. Okay. Yeah, this is better now. Thanks a lot.
Okay, good. So to do that, you just use your pad, your touch pad, then you kind of like maximize as if you are, if you want to zoom in, so just like drag it from the left and from the right.
Print it out, yeah.
So good. So this is document class here now. You can see this is document class article. Now this article here is a required argument. So a lot of people don't know the difference between this and options. So now optional argument, maybe I put this square bracket here and I type A4 paper and I type 12 points. Okay, then the document will be in 12 points. Like in your Word, 12 points, you know how to do that on the back. So I reduce it to 10 points. You see that the size will become smaller. You can see that. Is that clear? Okay. So you can manipulate these points here. So, and you can just erase this and go back to default. So those are called optional arguments. So compulsorily, it's not compulsory that it must be there. So, but if you want to customize, if you want to have more control over the command you are using, so you can use your options. Now to do all of this, even to include these codes, that I'm showing to you now in this beamer, I had to use an option called fragile. So I had to use this option. So it's more of like a delicate environment, like to show this code, I have to use fragile with verbatim. So let's continue. Okay. Okay, I have to come back to mouse. Okay, good. Now, special characters. So you have to pay closer attention here. So what are special characters? So special characters are non-printable characters. I told you earlier that the percentage symbol is used to add comments. So you cannot print it. Maybe okay, the meaning of non-printable is in the sense that if you put percentage, let's show you that particular here. Okay, so if you put, so all of these spaces that I'm leaving, they have no effect on the body. So they have no effect. So these are what have effects. The paragraph, so the modes, the math modes. So maybe I leave 100 spaces. So maybe I leave 100 spaces. They don't have any effect in the output. So now, okay, I want to show you this. Now I put a percentage symbol here. Let's see what will happen. So you cannot find it in the output. So they are non-printable characters. So if I put this brace, you cannot find it there. So you cannot print those characters. So those characters are used to define commands. So that means to show these characters, you have to put a backslash. So when you put these backslashes, then they show. You can see it here now. So when you put those backslashes, they show. So I could give you more examples. Braces, the square brackets. So even this backslash itself, good. So that's a very good example. This backslash itself cannot be printed too. So I put the backslash, you won't find it in the output. So these are non-printable characters. So they are called special characters. So to show that backslash, I can do something like this. Backslash. So and then you see it. So these are special characters. So let's go back to the. Okay. I'm looking for the itself one. Okay, I have to open it now. Okay, we are back. So they are called special characters. So you can try this out. Maybe you put, okay, for this, okay, this is backslash that we are talking about here. I said they are used to print non-standard characters or define commands. Now, this less than or equal to here, there's no information on this. So there's no information on this. So we are the one that is using the LaTeX syntax to write it. So you cannot just write, if you write English, it won't show. So you have to use this command. So now we use special characters to print non-standard characters. So you can see this backslash here is the special character. Now, characters that lack inherent formatting or structural meaning. So that is, there's no way you can format it in tech. It just does not have any formatting. It has no properties. So you cannot write backslash percent and it will give you percent. You have to use backslash and this and the percent itself. I think that's is this not percent? Yes. So now printing special characters. To print them, these are examples here. So printing special characters, backslash, text backslash, I've showed you that, curly braces, the ampersand, even the and. So that and, as small as you can see it, is also a special character. So you have to put a backslash if you want to print it. The percent symbol, underscore. You know your underscore, the function of underscore. The same underscore you have on your system is what we are talking about here. I'll show you that. Now, if you look at this underscore, maybe this is your underscore, is on your keyboard. But now you cannot print it also because it's a special character. So you see it is actually bringing an error code. So, and the error code here that you are seeing here is that if I zoom in a little bit, you see that it's saying that missing dollar inserted. So that's the missing math mode error. So what you just do is that what the error is telling you is that you can only use this in math mode. For instance, you want to write A sub B like that. So you can only use it in math mode. So now if you want to print that, then you have to use this text underscore, then it will print it out for you. I've shown you similar examples. Now, dollar sign, even the dollar itself, Now, the dollar itself is used to print out mathematics. What if you want to write $5? So he gave me $5. Okay, let's try to write that. So maybe you are doing actuarial mathematics or one of those financial stuff and you want to type it out with LaTeX. So he gave me $5. So how do you write it? You write this. So yeah, what if you intend to use the symbol? So that's the purpose of tech, being able to manipulate to get what you want. So when you put this now, it will bring an error. But when you put this, it will run the correct thing. Gave me $5. So dollar itself is a special character that is used to print mathematics. Let's continue. Let's continue. So now packages. Now use package. Okay, let's look at the definition. Packages provide a way to enhance and customize the functionality of LaTeX. So now to use a package, you have to use this use package. So that's the command, use package. These are options. As we said earlier, you don't always need this. You can delete it, but this is required. This is optional. So you have required and compulsory courses. You know the meaning of that already. So now use package name. So I gave a list of packages here, graphics for pictures. To add pictures to your document, you need graphics. This graphics package. So you just use package graphics. We have ArmSmart. See, the other time I was trying to run a mathematics, that's integral. I had to put this ArmSmart there. So without this, that wouldn't have displayed. We have arms symbol, arms font. This is for theorem. This is for theorems, proofs, environment. So it was formerly ARMS theorem. That is like American Mathematical Society theorem. So that's the name of the package itself. But then it was advanced into this. So this is like a development from ARMS theorem. So we don't use this anymore. We use this. Now TIX Xcolor. TIX is for graphics. So we are not going to cover, we are not going to cover graphics in this course because graphics is like the most difficult thing to do on tech, or let's say complicated. But anything that is difficult, when you take it step by step, it becomes easier. So I've done quite a number of diagrams and so on there with TIX. So TIX is the package that is like the widest on LaTeX, as you know what graphics are today. So let's continue. Okay. Now font types. Font types. This is for emphasis. The first one is for emphasis. This one is for bolding. Now this BF, text BF, we use it in LaTeX. I think the one on tech should be this. So as I've explained earlier that LaTeX is the macro language of tech. LaTeX is the macro language of tech. So this should have been what they have been using earlier. So now you can see that it is more understandable this way. You say text BF, that is bold my text. So this is SC. This is your Times New Roman, very popular. This is your sans serif. This is your TT. Your TT is your typewriter format. So your codes appear in typewriter format. So this is TT, text TT. This UP and this text now, they perform the same function. And when you are writing mathematics now, let's show that. Maybe you're writing mathematics. So you write, okay, 2 plus 3 equals 5. Okay, I added, maybe you write this now. I added 2 to 3 and got 5. So that is, okay. Now if you print this out, so now if you print this out, you will see how it came out. Let's zoom this in a little bit. I added 2 to 3 and got 5. You see how it came out. So now the math mode has affected the English. Now to correct that, you can either use this text, because there are some instances that you have to write English in mathematics, like inside maybe in your aligned environment, we need English. So this is very useful. So if you do this now, see the output now. So see that the output has been corrected. So I could leave a space here and see that the output has been corrected. So that is so good. So now if I put UP there, it's the same function it performs. So you could try many of these out. So you can see that it gave the same output. So let's continue. That's why I use all there. So they perform the same function. Okay, font size. Tiny for tiny, script size. You can see them here. So because of time, I won't be able to show many of these things, but you can try it out. All of this, just write it the way I wrote it here. So then you'll see what it does. For alignment, center, begin center, end center. I've told you what an environment is. Maybe you want to center something. For instance, you want to center a text. Okay, begin, center. So I want to center, let me say Zoom participant. So Zoom participant. So you see that it came out centered. Good. So if I remove the environment, you see what happens to it. So you see that it shifted to the left. So if you look at the flush left, it's the same thing it performs. Now, many of these things I shouldn't be showing you. And why I shouldn't be doing that is because I've told you earlier that LaTeX is a high-level markup language that is more understandable. So we are not living in the 1970s anymore. So the codes that you are writing now, or the codes that are available now, are codes that when you just look at the environment, you should understand the function already. Huge. What's the meaning of huge? To make a text huge, but there's a difference here. This small h, the hugeness is smaller than this. So you can see the difference. So the codes are explainable, sorry, they are understandable on their own. So you know what the function is. Flush left means flush my text to the left. So let's continue. Now we go to the third section, LaTeX and you. So these are some commands, some mathematical commands. This is for square root, the nth root of 2. For instance, this is how you type it. The nth root of 2. This is for a over b, the fraction. Use frac a, b. Now, I'll just show you a couple of that. I think I know that. I know that. Okay. Screen. So, okay, good. So let's show you a couple of that. Okay, let me just go down. All of this space. Okay, you see this space now, what I was explaining earlier. The space I left here has no effect here. So those have no effect. So let's look at this, for instance. Let's use this environment, which is the same math mode. So the nth root of 2, for instance, you have typed this, and you have that. So I showed you fraction. Maybe you want to type 2 over 3. Use frac, and that braces. Now, if that fraction that you want to type is a simple fraction like a over b, you don't need those braces. See that nothing changes. But now, let's say I want to write 2a plus 1 over 3, 2a plus 1 in the numerator, and I do something like this. You can see the output. That's not the intended format, right? And now put this. So you see that it comes back to the corrected way. So we are all smart. So we should know that if it is one argument in the numerator, you don't need the braces. That's just the essence of all this discussion. But if the arguments in the numerator are more than one, maybe you want to write the operations, there are operations there, plus, minus, blah, blah, blah. So if you have it plus, minus, blah, 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 then this is what happens. So you need to use your braces for the fraction. So let's look at sum. Sum I equal to 1 to n, or maybe 2 raised to the power n. So look at this now. Good. So that's a geometric sum, of course. So this is easier to understand. This is subscript in the end, I equal to 1. Now this superscript, now if the argument is more than 1, too, you need your braces. Maybe I want to sum from I equal to 1 to n plus 1. What will I do? If I write it this way, you see that the plus 1, you see how the plus 1 will be printed. So you see it here. No, then you need to use your what? Your braces. So let's quickly move on. It's more interesting things. So these are some commands. Now for this particular one, the order is not of interest. So either if you write you want to write e raised to power n to the sub k. If you write e raised to power n, then you solve it with k. You could even use a brace here. If you are using a brace, that means it is not one argument. Maybe it's 2 e raised to power n now. 2 e raised to power n. What will you do? You will use a brace because the argument is not one. But I did not use a brace here because it's just e raised to power n, one argument. So you put this under score, then you put k. That's 2 e raised to power n sub k. Okay. Now if you write e sub k to the power n too, or you have okay. So if you write this one to give you the same output, and the thing is that this is only true for only one argument actually. So I think it can work for more than one argument. Let's continue, please. So like this thing being the same thing is only for one argument. So you could try writing this. So that's why so these are complete Bell polynomials in mathematics. So don't need to know that. But then you want to type it out. Maybe you are a typist or okay, you just want to type it out. Then this is the output here. This is the output. So this is what you type and this is what you get. So it's easier. Now some people don't type mathematics correctly. Maybe you want to write 1 to n now. You say 1 to some will put this dot dot dots, and they don't work that way. Yeah. So for this dot dot dot, you replace them with L dot. Okay. For L, you replace them with L dot. Let's show you a little bit of that. This is what I'm saying here. You have 1 plus 2 plus, sorry, you want to write 1 to n. Then someone comes and writes this for us. So it will print, but then it's not proper. Okay, so you replace this with L dots. That is like lower dots. That's like the meaning. So you can see that it spaced it. So this is how to type mathematics correctly. So some people they want to add 1 to n, and they do like this. You see, but this is not how to type it correctly. Okay, this is not how to type it correctly. What do you need to do? You replace this with C dots, which means center dots. You see it now, it comes to the center. So that's how to type mathematics correctly. Good. If you are typing matrices, we make use of L dots, sorry, D dots, which means diagonal dots. Let's give you an example of that. For instance, matrix should work with ArmSmart. That's the package we've defined earlier. So far, so good. We've only used one package, the ArmSmart. A, B, C, D. This is a simple matrix. Okay, sorry. So I need to put your math mode, the math mode. So you see there, that's a matrix. Now you want to type something like A, B, going to Z. And you want to leave a space in between showing continuity. Okay, let's put C dot here. And you have D, E, D dots. Let's put P here. You have let's write A, B, C. Okay, let's put C dot here. And let's put B. So you see, okay, I did not put this here. So I didn't. Now this command is for paragraphs. Okay, so now you can see it here. So to show continuity, what did I use? I used this diagonal dots. I could as well remove these two things. So you should know how to use the correct dots. L dot for lower dots, C dot for center dots. So you can see it now. So people that are in mathematics or in the sciences, they should understand this. So L dot for lower dots, C dot for C dots, D dot for diagonal dots, V dot for vertical dots. So those are the commands. So you should be doing this with your VAPTech. That's the purpose of writing the code out for you. So maybe you take a screenshot or you write it down there, try to implement this on your own. The same thing here. If the argument, this is infinity here. If the argument if the argument is 2 or more than 1, what do you use? You use your braces. Maybe you want to write integrate from 0 to 2n. So you have to use your braces because the arguments there are 2. Good, but now it's just infinity. Maybe if it's n, you don't need your braces. So in general, if it is one argument, you don't need braces. If it is more than one argument, you need your braces. So now display math mode. I've discussed that before. I've discussed display math mode before. I've discussed this also before. Now, display math mode does not number your equation. Now we have numbered equations. To print numbered equations, you need to use this equation environment. So you need to use this equation environment. So maybe we have an equation and equation. I will now use the examples we've used previously. You know, this one is a math mode, inline math mode. That means I can write, I have a matrix here. I have a matrix. Then that I have a matrix will fall in line. Okay. Let me take this off. Why I took that off? So you should be asking questions like why did I take that off? So I did not put anything in that environment. So, and it could not stand alone. That's why I have to take it off. So now I actually put it. Now I have a matrix. You can see how it came out here, inline math mode. This display math mode. So you see that now. This is also display math mode, $. So single dollar, inline math mode, $, display math mode, backslash, square bracket, display math mode. So you can see it. Me, for instance, I like to use the square bracket. So you can either use the square bracket or $. Let's continue now. I want to number this equation. I now put it in this environment. Now I don't need all of these dollars. Why? They are now in the equation environment. So we don't need to be talking about modes, maybe math mode or display math mode or whatever. So now this is begin equation, end equation, and you put this here, then we see what happens. So I've put it in the what equation environment. Let's shift to the right and you see that. So you see that it is numbered. So it is numbered. Now let's say I want to reference this. So label, let's use zoom 1. So and now, so let's say I write, okay, let's say I write, I am showing this equation. I am showing equation 1. So I will do this equation ref. It means reference the equation, and I put this. So you see what happens here. I am showing equation 1. You get it now? So LaTeX provides easy cross-referencing. This is what we mean by cross-referencing. Like in a document, cross-referencing means, you know what cross means now? So from each are connected to the other. So you can easily connect each stuff to another. So you can easily connect each content to another one. So with cross-referencing, this for equation ref. So now another advantage is that if I use the hyperref environment, sorry, if I use the hyperref package, okay. Hyperref, you know what hyperref is? So people that are doing coding, they should know that. So I put link color, maybe blue. So it's not done. So you can see that, you see what came up now. If I tap this in the PDF, then it will keep going to take me to 1. So LaTeX provides this feature. You say color links through. So you see that the link is blue now, just as you have in your hyperref. So you can use LaTeX to do what? Easy cross-referencing, which I've explained earlier. So let's continue. Now you could try this. Now, for those that for those that are in computer, did this in P52. So this is the base theorem. So you could write it out like this now. So now our next discussion is on alignment. That's our next discussion. It's on alignment. How do you align equations? Now, can anybody tell me what is aligned here? What do you see that is aligned? So you can unmute yourself and tell me.
Equal sign.
Equality sign.
Good, good. Thank you. So now this equality sign is aligned. So how do you align that? So they don't just come that way. Now there are different ways to align equations. Okay. Now, if you want to reference that equation, that's number 1. You want to reference it. So you can use this split. So let's do that. So you can use split. Let's show a little bit of that. I don't want it to be like theory, so I have to show you this and show you that. So let's say A plus B equal to C. So you want to align. So let's look at this now. What's the purpose of alignment? So let's look at them naturally. And let's look at D plus E equal to F. How will they come out? So firstly, why do you need alignment? Still is on customization. It is what you want. So I could want this, for instance, now. So let's say I put C plus G plus H here, and I put the I here now. Let's see what happens. So you can see here it's kind of like aligned. So you see what happens here. This equal to is not aligned with this equal to now, but you can align it. So we started with split. So I will explain those things here. So when I'm on the slide, I will just slide through, of course. So now let's look at split. Now split, because of this equal to here, okay? When this equal to signs here, they require to be in math mode. So you need to put all of these environments in math mode. So you say begin split, end split, then you align it like this. Then this, I've told you this stands for paragraph. You want to take the second equation to the next paragraph. Okay, let's try to run this. So it should bring an error. Good. So as to what I'm saying, so it needs to be in what? In the equation environment. Maybe you choose this as your math, maybe your display math mode. So you see that the equal to signs are aligned. So that's clear. Good. So you can use, there's another way to do this now. And now to do alignment, you need a package. That package is ArmSmart. You see it at the top of the document. Without this package, okay, let's look at it. Let's remove the package. So you see it there, okay. Even I cannot even declare this operator without that package. So let's now even remove the, if you remove this, okay. If you remove this declaration and you delete, maybe like, let's replace circuit. Let's use a sec. So like I've just removed all of those things. I'm focusing on the alignments that we are discussing now. So we see that, okay, it's been all run. We have this. Okay. Yeah, I've not removed ArmSmart. So I want us to remove the ArmSmart. So if you see that, okay, you've seen the error code here, misplaced alignment tab. Misplaced alignment tab, ampersand. So you can see this error code here. From this error code here, you can see that something is wrong somewhere. What is wrong here, you cannot easily denote, you cannot easily derive it from the error code. But the thing is that ArmSmart works with this alignment. So without ArmSmart, you cannot do alignment. So let's return everything back to how they were. So just Ctrl Z undo. So simple as that. So we have other ones, other environments. Now, even align itself. LaTeX is easy to understand. So now let's look at the difference between split and align. Align does not require this, okay? Align does not require this, but split requires what? Math mode. Align itself is in math mode. So, and it's in the what? It's in the display math mode. Let's copy this now and paste it here, because that's the next thing on the slide. So if you copy this and place this here, you see what is coming out. Okay, let's go to the next page. So you see that it came out. Very good. Now, for this, if I remove the asterisk, if I remove it, it will number both equations. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3 actually. So 1 as showed before. Now, if I put this in the equation environment, let's see what happens. So that's the first one. So you see what happens here. What happens here is that this split environment references this equation here as what? So it references this equation that you see here as one equation. So we have some complicated equations like that. So talk about the SIR model, the SEIR model, you know, they are like 3 equations. Now, if you want to reference them as one equation, then what do you use now? You use split. Now, to reference them as 2 different equations, what do you use? You use align. And the align you use here is what? Is without asterisk to reference them as 2 different equations. So we can move on. So I've shown you a practical application of this split. So you must put this. If you don't put this, you will get an error message. This one is next paragraph or the line, sorry, next line. So you must take it to the next line, new paragraph, next line, anything you want to call it. Without this, it's like writing 2 ants on the same line and you get an error message. So I showed you how to reference an equation here. I've shown you that also. So now we also have multi-line. So let's just say multi-line environment. Now it's multi-line as an environment, but the English is multi-line. So you can get the name from the environment itself. So now multi-line, what it does is that it will break the 2 equations. But what happens is that the first one will come to the what? The left, and the second one will go to the what? To the right. So you can try that out also. I mean, align is the last one. I've explained that already. So this is an question here. So a summary of this now is that what you need ArmSmart to do all of these alignments. Now let's move away from align. Let's move away from this now. So these are exercises for you to do. Write the following basic equations in LaTeX. So what you notice here is that for the first 3 equations, the equal to signs are aligned. So you know what to use. They are not numbered. So what do I use? I can either use the align with asterisk, so to unnumber it, or what? Or I use split. I use split with what? With math mode. So this is math. This is display math mode, the first one, and this is inline math mode. This is also display math mode. So you can use split with any of these 3, or you use now this. Why align is more efficient is that now you don't need to worry about using this math mode or that math mode, this display, whatever. So for align is already in math mode. So you just use align with what? Asterisk to unnumber it. So you can try this out on your own. First one in mathematics is called the Bessel equation. Over the alpha, this is Euler's equation. This is just sum of I squared terms up to the nth term. And this is Cardano's formula. So this is Cardano's formula for solving the cubic. So let's continue. So I just gave a description of what those equations actually mean. Let's move on. So these are more exercises. Now this is relating to physics. So you can see that we also use LaTeX to type physics. So actually all of STEM fields. So all of STEM fields, it is more efficient to type in text than to type in Word. So this is from physics. This is Arrhenius equation in chemistry. Sorry? Yes, so this is Arrhenius equation in chemistry, and this is from acid ionization theory. And I just put one algebra here. So we'll try this out. There are exercises. Do them on your own. So I brought from physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So let's move. So now figures and tables. Figures and tables. Now the title of this section is floating elements in LaTeX. So it's a subsection rather. So floating elements in LaTeX. Rather. So now what are floating elements? What do we mean by saying something is floating? So you know what it means. It means it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. Go to the center. So now tables do this in tech. They do that in tech, both tables and figures. So now figures, this is the environment for figure. Begin environment and, sorry, begin figure, end figure. For tables, table, table, as you have it. So these are the environment. So I'm now using the technical terms we've discussed earlier. So the first one is the figure environment, and the second one is the table environment. Now, what do they do? Okay, these are parameters. Now, these parameters are options, as we said earlier. Now, begin table, begin figure, they can work on their own without options. Now, if you need options, then you have something like this, for instance, begin table, begin table. Then you want to combine it with any of these. So we want to combine it with any of these. H is for here. So I've given the meaning of these now. H means we place the table here approximately, like maybe it to be approximate, not exact. You know the meaning of approximate. Now T means at the top of the page. B means at the bottom of the page. P, put on a special page for floats only, like put it on a separate page. That's for P. This exclamation mark means, you know what exclamation stands for now, when you want to shout at someone. So now it means override all parameters. And this H is like H with this, is like here approximately. And what? Override all internal parameters. So this is how we do these options here. We put a square bracket. If you put HT, it means place it here approximately. If you cannot place it here approximately, move it to the top. You get it now? You have HTB, place it here approximately. So you cannot place it here approximately, move it to the top. If it cannot go to the top, move it to the bottom. So that's the meaning of those codes. Yeah, see some explanations in the next one. So now formatting tables. This is, I tried to create a funny table of this sort. So now let me just copy this and you should be doing this actually. So let's use mouse. How do I copy this? I use. Okay, I don't think I can copy this directly. Okay, let's go to my system itself. So we're here. So let's look at it here. So this is the whole stuff that you're gonna see here. So we have this, jump to source. Okay, copy this. So I don't want to waste time writing again. So let's look at this. So you see the output here. So that's the output here. Okay. So let's give some explanations as usual. Now look at this now. L here stands for left. The first one comes, the first one, you are telling the first column to come to the left. If I replace it with R, what happens? So let's look at that by ourselves. So if I replace it with R, so you see that it moves to the right. So everything will move to the right. If I replace it with C, what happens? It moves to the center. So LaTeX is understandable. Shouldn't give you problems. L for left, R for right, C for center. Now look at this place. I put two vertical slash. If I replace it with 1, so this is the 2 vertical slash here, the interpretation, you can see it here. So if I replace it with 1, to become 1. Good. And the same thing I did here. You see it now. Good. So H line. H line. I will get PowerPoint actually. It's part of this, like the next session or the next thing. So good. This is H line. So this is H line here. H line is for horizontal line. H line is for horizontal line. Then I want to rule a line above that table now. I want to rule a line above it. So you see it now. I've ruled a line. So you can see that it's much more easier than going to your spreadsheet, doing this and doing that and pushing the table. You don't need to doing all of those stress. Now, this one here, I want to put, this is for next paragraph. I've told you earlier, when you are using the asterisk command, you have to be careful. When you put this, this means that you should take it to the next paragraph. So now I have to put this because you can see we are having three different rows apart from the heading. We are having 3 different rows. Now I want to rule a line after none of this. So I put H line. So I put H line there. Then you see what happens. That's horizontal line. Okay. So you see that it gives it horizontal line. So now what does table do? Why use table? Now look at this now. I have another environment inside of table and I call that environment tabular. So that environment is predefined actually. So tabular. This table environment is used for stylizing, or how will I say it? It's used to put style to the table. Like we use it to put style to the table, to give the table style. That's what this table environment is for. The tabular is the one doing the major job. The tabular is the one constructing the table. Why this table environment is for what? For the style, how you want your figure or your table to look like. Now, figures and tables are similar. So let's continue. I have to open this on Adobe. Okay, and I open this on, okay. Good. So we can continue now. So now this is for table. So you see how it came out. Good. I also did the table on this beamer. So you should be noticing something from this beamer. All my writings in this beamer is using the sans serif. So all of these, they are in the sans serif format. So people that are doing, if you've typed on Word before, you know what sans serif means. So let's continue. So I put this on. Okay. Good. Captioning. You will see that in the previous code area. If you want to caption your table, use that caption. So that's what I said earlier. I said table is not for drawing tables. Tabular is for drawing tables. You can use the tabular without the table environment. Then you just get the table. But you won't get captions. You won't get labels. You won't be able to reference. So that's clear now. Good. So now you can use the tabular without the table environment. I've said that now. So now captioning. How do you caption? If you go to the previous one, you will see captioning. You will see labeling. Okay, I don't think I did labels there. So labeling, to put label, like to give the table name. Let's just show that briefly in like a minute. So look at this now. This is caption. So the first thing I said, since I'm here, let me use that opportunity now. So the first thing I said tabular can work without table. So let's pick tabular itself. So tabular is the one drawing the table. So you see that we get what? We get the table. So now table is for what? Stylizing for adding style to the table. You want to center the table. If I remove this now, it won't come centered again. See, this one is centered. This first one is centered. Now there will be a third one. and that third one will not be centered. It will be shifted to the left. So now I put centering. So that's a command. So it will center the table. So I'm adding style to the table. Okay, good. I'm adding style to the table. That's it. Okay, this is caption. You want to put UI process. So if you want to put anything you want to caption, label. Now label. The label command is used for the label. Let's put it here. So label command is used for referencing. Let's say UI table, for instance. Now so you see that the label I put UI table, you can't see it there. Label is for referencing in all of tech that I know. So label is for what? Referencing. Let's have a look at table. Maybe I want to say, let us have a look at table 1. Let's have a look at is table 2 actually. So table, you put this, then you put ref, and you put this now, and it will reference it. I think it should be blue. Okay, good. So it will come out blue because I've used hyperref already. So when you tap this, you see that it's clickable. You see what it is bringing. Go to page 2. So that's an advantage of using tech. Let's continue. So easy referencing. So label is for referencing. So label is what aids the referencing. You label it, then you call. If you want to reference it, you call the name of that label. So now the same commands apply to the figure environment. Now include graphics. Okay. Now include graphics. What do you say, please? Yeah.
Yeah. We need just 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
We need to respond. There's a poll that has just been launched. We need to participants should please fill the communication feedback poll for us just for 2 minutes. We'll hold on for 2 minutes. Can you see the poll launched on your screen?
I can see it on mine. Maybe I share that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Once you can, everybody can say, please. We need that feedback quickly, please, just for 2 minutes before we continue the session. Thanks so much.
Yes, one can hear. I can't see it though.
The poll is there on your screen. Did you see it? People have been filling.
I can't see the poll. Is it possible to be shared again? Abi?
Yeah, it's still active. It's still active. Just you can. It's still active. It's actually there. Are you using your phone or your laptop?
I'm using phone.
I think they have to be on the Zoom app.
Yes, sir. I don't know. Is anyone seeing the poll here? I can't see anything here, sir.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. I mean, about 15 people have filled it now.
I think they have to be on the meeting page.
Yeah, go back to the Zoom platform. The people are, I mean, about 20 people have filled so far. Yeah, thanks a lot. The feedback are coming in.
For those that have not gotten, they should just, if you are using phone, come more. The 3 dots. So you see the poll there.
1 more minute and we'll continue the session. Seconds more, and we'll end it.
Yeah, Zoom. You are using system as I think that's why it's like a pop-up. Like
Okay,
what do you
thanks a
say?
lot.
Can I
We can
see
continue the
the
session.
poll?
We
Is
can
Mr. Ahmed
continue the session.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So let's continue.
Yeah.
So now for graphics, just trying to close something. So for graphics now, the same thing for, okay, it's different rather. So now we use the figure environment for graphics. We use the figure environment. Now, H means place it here approximately. T, if you cannot place it here approximately, take it to the top. Then now, this is for the same thing now. Like the table environment now, the figure environment defines the image style. Okay, defines the image style. This is the one including the image. This is what you use to get the image itself. Then maybe you want to center it. Then this is for the controls, where you place the image. Automatically, I think the image goes to the left. Like without any of this, the same thing with the table. Yes, we did that. So it went to the left. So without this figure environment, then you have them going to the left. Sorry. Without this figure environment and this centering, you have them going to the left. Good. So the same explanation. Actually, now include graphics as options. Okay. Include graphics as options like width, scale. You can scale a picture. You can, at which angle do you want the picture to be? And note that here. You can have those options, width and height of your picture. You can scale it. Now, scaling is like the most important thing in include graphics, because as this beamer is, if I want to put a picture here and the picture is way bigger than it, what do I use? I use scale. Maybe I want 0.8 times the picture, I just use 0.8. If I want 0.6, I use 0.6 and so on. So let's continue. Now beamer. So beamer is used for presentation. It's a document class on its own, used for presentation. So, and at this point, I have also at the end of this section, I have a beamer. Sorry, I have a code that you can generate your own beamer by yourself. So it's better you try them on your own. So, and it's actually the style I used for this presentation. So let's continue. Okay, good. What is a beamer? So now, beamer is your gateway to making captivating presentations, of course. So now beamer is a LaTeX document class specifically defined for making slides. Now it leverages LaTeX typographic excellence to create visually stunning presentations, of visually appealing presentations. So benefits of beamer: professional look, good. Math support. Now the same mathematics you can do on the normal LaTeX, on the normal article class and the normal book class and the normal memoir, you can do them on your beamer. The same mathematics that you want to type, physics, anything in the physical sciences, I think they should do with equations. So if you want to type any mathematics that you are doing, you need, they can work on beamer. So customization, you can customize it easily. If I want to change this color, I can change it. So anything you want to do, you can be able to do it when you have the knowledge. Now, basic structure. You use title, author, date, okay, to define what they mean, the title of the presentation, the author, Mr. Lagbaja or Mr. Tamid. So the date. Okay, now if you look at this date here now, in your document. So as LaTeX is, you should be able to customize it to get what you want. It's not that it gave me this and I accepted it. So is that what you want? So let me show you a very small example. Shouldn't take me a minute. So this is article. This class we've been using so far is the article document class. So it's the article document. Sorry, it's the article class. Good. Now, articles. How do articles appear? They appear title of my article. The author. Let's say Abdul Hafiz. Okay, let's see it now and see what. Okay, no. Okay, let's start with this. On a normal day, I wouldn't start like that. So you can see that nothing happened. Good. So why did nothing happen? There is a missing command. So you have to put this make title. So that's a command that is important then that will allow you to display the title of what you are doing. Make title. So you can see it now. Title of my article at the Hafiz, July 21, 2023. So now, what do I mean by customizing? You are presenting, sorry, you want to submit an article, July 23. Today is July 21. You are traveling to Abuja. You will not be able to edit that document, perhaps from one meeting to the other, and you want to submit it on July 23, and you don't want to on your system, or you just want to put it somewhere, you want to leave it in wherever you are doing, wherever you are. So what do you do to edit this date? So these are problems of customizing. So you need to be able to get what you want. So if I put this date here now, and I put it with empty braces, so we see what will happen to it. So you see the data has disappeared. Good. So you want to put it on July 23, you just type July 23. Quite a number of people may not know this and they may have been using tech for so long. So you must be able to customize to get what you want. So, and if you cannot get what you want, and you are a starter, you could either ask questions or move to Tech Stack Exchange. So I also have an account there. So let's continue. Good. So this date now is automatic. It runs with the date of your system. So if the date of your system is July 21, that is what it will run. Now I've told you how to customize it. When you put it with empty braces, the date will disappear. When you put the date you want in this place, then you have the desired date. So know how to customize. Now section and navigations section. So all of these things that you are seeing here, that this is a section, this is a section, this is a section, this is a section. You have subsections. So I use this section for section in Beamer, which is for presentation. Use section for section, use subsection for what? Subsection. Now themes. You choose themes with use theme. You should be able to choose whatever theme you like. So you can customize with set Beamer color, set Beamer font, etc. Let's move on. So now these are lists of theme commands for your Beamer. People that are doing PowerPoint, Beamer. Okay, good. So for presentation, so we have these themes, Ann Arbor, NTPS, again, they are just names of themes, Berkeley, Madrid, Berlin, Badla, Cambridge, US, Copenhagen, and so on. So they are themes. So which theme did I use for this presentation? Can somebody guess that? Let's see. Okay. I used the first one. Actually. I used Ann Arbor. Good. So that's the theme that I used for this presentation. I used Ann Arbor. Good. Let's continue. So customizing the enumerate environment. Now, let's go back a little bit. You see this now. These triangles that you are seeing here now, I customized it. Okay. In some other presentation, you can find balls. You could find which are circles. You could find balls. You could find triangles. You could find circles. So now you can see it here: triangle, ball, cycle. So circle rather. Which one did I use? I used the first one. So for the itemized environment, I use what? Triangle. So I have this in my tech, that's in the source code. Good. Let's move on. Customizing Beamer fonts. So now set Beamer fonts title. size large. So I've explained all of these fonts earlier. Date, size large. Well, if you check the picture of this presentation that we were sharing, you see that the department was very small. So it's an effect of this. So, or the date will be small. So it's an effect of all of this. So if anything I choose to do, I do here. So let's continue. So we have, okay, good. Your trial, you should be trying this. So you could take a screenshot. You have, if you have Google, what do we call that? So you can just copy this code if you take a screenshot of it actually. So tech has gone far. So let's copy it. Okay. New share. So your trial, I want you to create a beamer for yourself. And the beamer, we have a title page, an outline, like what we have here, and we have a single frame for an example. So this, as short as this code is here now, this is how to start your beamer. Good. I think I'm on my system now. Okay. Screen. Okay. I think I have this beamer test here. So I saved it here as beamer test. So we've tried to create that. So let's zoom in a little bit. So this is a very simple beamer presentation that you could try out as a starter. We have many of these people writing. Okay, good. Now look at this now. Beamer. Document class, beamer. So I've had someone call me, hello, my beamer, blah, 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 I couldn't run it. And when I checked the document class he was using article. So you can't use article to run beamer here, okay? So document class is beamer. Good. You have different document classes. We explained that earlier. Mode, presentation, then you use, so you have to do this way to define your theme. So I used an arbor. Here, title, my trial, author, institute, begin document. Then now, all of these I'm just trying to explain to you or reiterate. All of these are called the preamble, okay? Whatever comes before the begin document. This is called the body, okay? Begin and end environments, sorry, begin and end pair are called environments, good. So now, these are all what we have in my preamble. Begin frame, then title page, outline will be on the frame title, then table of contents, and section. Then let's just run this and see what it gives us. So Control T for running, okay? So you can see what it gave us. Trial, my trial, author, institute, you can put University of Ibadan, Unilab. So your date, okay. Let's do the same stuff we did the other time. So I put date with empty braces. And let's see what will happen to the date. So the date disappears. So just like the other time, you can see that it also works here. So it works in virtually every document class. So now this is your section for the outline. This is your section 1, and all of these are hyperlinked. So this is your first frame here. I just put this dot like that. So we have this now. Now look at this here, author institute. So it's an option of author here. Here now you put my name. Let's say I put Abdul Hafiz here, and I put institute. Let's just put UI. Then you see what will happen to that here. So you see Abdul Hafiz UI is what is appearing there now. So that's an option of author when you just put the name here. So for this simple beamer, then you get that output. Let's continue. So you can just, with these few lines, I think there are about 22 lines. Yeah, with these 22 lines, you can create your own beamer as an example. So let's continue. So it's not stressful at all. So it's more better than, I've not used PowerPoint before, but then, you know, getting the one you want, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you just write 22 lines and you're done. You have one frame. So let's continue. I'm trying to navigate. So now the next section, we are rounding up. The next section is LaTeX extended. Common errors. So how do you debug your error? So now error debugging, we have it in programming languages. So now how do you debug your errors in LaTeX now? Now, if you look at this now, this is an error. This is the structure of an error. You will have the line. It will give you the line number of the error is very, very important, because you just if you have a whole document, maybe it's about 1,000 lines. So it's about 1,000 lines, and you want to get where the error is. For instance, now this error now, I purposely committed this error for the sake of explanation. It's for this particular Beamer presentation. Now, what do you see here? We have 518. That means I have to go to line 518. Do you need to be searching for that? No. So when you do Control L, you get to the line on tech work. Screen. Let's come back to this mouse. So you do Control L. You see, go to line, you get that message. Or you tap here now. Tap this button you are seeing here, line. So you tap it to bring it. So you can easily just go, okay, the error is at line 140. I just write 140. It goes there. I don't feel like, oh, what's the error? So let's continue. So that's how to know where the error is. The first thing you need to check in an error message is the line number of the error. Now, what is the error? I used from. So there's no environment like from. So the environment I wanted to use was frame. So I have 50 frames here. We're on frame 38. Good. Now begin frame, end frame is for what? For each of the frames. I wanted to use frame, then I wrote from. So you can see it brought the error itself. LaTeX error, environment from undefined. So that's the structure of an error. The next thing we'll be discussing is another type of error, say missing package. What kind of error do you get when a package is missing? So this is how it will come. The first thing you will get, the first thing you look at is at that bottom. Let's go to the screen. So at that bottom, how do you go to the bottom itself? You see, you can't find any bottom here that I'm trying to say, like where the file is running, where you get all of this. Press Control \. Okay, press Control \/ to see that it will disappear, it will appear. So now these are what I'm discussing, all of these. So good. Now, if you look at this, I have to go back. Now, if you look at this error that it is bringing, it says what? The file moderncv.cls not found. So I should have explained to you earlier, packages on LaTeX, they have s.sty, what do we call that? Extension or file extension. So that's the extension of that file, the name. So the name of that extension is sty here, like style files. Okay, style. So .sty. Now for document class, like Beamer, which is for presentation, like article for articles, like book for book, their extensions are what? CLS, class files. Good. Now, when it says moderncv.cls not found, what does it mean? That means there's a class file, which is the first line of your LaTeX code, is the document class. It says moderncv.cls not found. Now, moderncv is used for creating CVs. Good. That means when it says it is not found, what are we going to do? Are we just going to leave it that way and say, oh, you're not able to get away around it? So it will bring this also when you're using LaTeX to bring this request to download package. So it will bring this request to download package. This will pop up. It will come as a pop-up. Okay, still yet I've not installed moderncv. So let's do a practical of that. So this is I'm going back to article. I don't need this Beamer again. Don't Beamer. It's okay. So moderncv. I don't think it's on my system. So let's see. Good. So you can see the pop-up. So as I ran it, it brought this pop-up. Then you click install. Good. I'm connected to the internet. Then you see what is happening here. You see this long equal to that. That's how it will start. Then we download the file. So now you can also do manual installation. You can also install from the console when you download LaTeX. So you can see now that modern CV requires some other style files, which are packages. So it requires this. So I have to download this. So see, it's installing here. So I'm installing modern CV for my CVs. Good. It still needs another one. So as much as it needs is how you respond to that. So I think that's the end now. Good, modern CV. So option clash for hyperref. When you look at this code now, that means I don't need hyperref for modern CV. Perhaps it has been defined in modern CV before. And now all of this now may not even be in the body, because what you have in the modern CV, document class, maybe the format is quite different. So it's not something I've used before. So, but I've used tech to create my own CV myself, just a manual CV, not like a customized package. Okay, well, you can use modern CV, read up on it if you're interested. Let's continue. So here is this. Good. So this is what it brings. It brings this dialogue. Now let's look at another error code, missing environment. I've told you what an environment is. An environment is what? An environment is a begin and end pair. So if an environment is missing, what type of error do you get? You will always get this kind of error. So we say begin whatsoever, ended by what? End document. What should begin enumerate? What should it end by? It should end by end enumerate. Okay, but now this is the code that I wrote down. It does not have an end enumerate. This is the type of error it will bring. So whenever you see that something is ended by end document, it means you've not closed that chain. You've not used the end enumerate environment. Good. Now, failing to complete the dollar pair, what type of error do you get? You see missing dollar inserted. So you see that missing dollar, that means is it that you don't even put, if this dollar is even, if you put one, or there's no dollar at all, and you're writing math, you are in math mode, you want to write math rather, and you don't use this dollar, or you use one, you get this error, missing dollar inserted. The next one, the missing braces. So I didn't complete this brace. What do you get? You see it there, exactly. So as I said earlier, structure of an error, you have the line number of the error, it says line 17. So you look at this here, missing brace. Now, the next one, now we move to defining theorems. Okay, defining theorems. Now, if you want to, there are some environments that are not defined in tech. Maybe you want to write exercise, for instance. Now, you want to write exercise for your students. We don't have begin exercise, end exercise in tech. So you need a macros for that. So how do you do that? So let's do that as a practical for you. So we don't have macros for exercise, and you want to do what? You want to write an exercise for your students. First thing you need is that you need that PHF theorem environment. That's for theorems. We put it there. Now, look at what I'm saying, for instance, here. Let's go to the first line. I put begin theorem. So in mathematics, we have theorem, of course. Begin theorem, end theorem. So you see theorem 1 here, I write the theorem, and so on. Good. Good. So I want exercise. Exercise is not predefined. How do I do it? I'll come here, anywhere in the preamble, all right? The theorem style. So you want to give your students exercises. Definition, we have some defined styles in the theorem environment. You have definition, you have proof, you have theorem. So which one do you want to imitate rather? You want to imitate definition. Now definition uses the upright style. Proof uses italics. So theorem, then you say this is a macros. It's like a shortcut sometimes. So new theorem. Say you want it to be okay. You want to call it exercise, or let's use EXER. Good. Now, what do you want it to display? Now you see this is small theorem here. And what is it displaying? It's displaying capital letter T. Good. So now I want this to, so it has, that means this is the next thing that is after this one now. Maybe we have a theorem here. This is what I'm saying. So we can't do this because it's already defined text. So you can't do this. So this is what we are saying now. We want exercise. Say EXER. You put a C, you can whatever you want. So exercise. Okay. You now do begin EXER and EXER. So you see, you get exercise 1. So that's how to do those things. Let's go back. I have short time. So that's how to do those things. So now in this slide, so to use new theorem, I've shown you already. So begin, this one is for example, it's for exercise. You can do it anyhow you want it. So it's you that want to customize it, okay? So now let's continue. Now name of theorem. Now you want to put the name of the theorem. How do you do that? Use the square bracket. For instance, now the name of the theorem is FTA, fundamental theorem of algebra. You see how it will come out. FTA. You can see it now. Name of theorem. So that's how to do that. So what's the next thing on that part? Proof. So this is begin proof, end proof. That's predefined in LaTeX. So referencing your proof. Very beautiful. I'll show you what ARM's theorem cannot do in a minute. Now the PHF theorem environment is kind of like quite advanced. So let's say proof. Small letter. Proof of theorem and proof. Good. So you see this proof here now. Okay. How we write proof in mathematics. Let's give you one example. So we want to show that, for instance, we want to show something. Let me just end here. We want to show something. Let's put that now. You see what we appear. Now for PHF theorem, this is what we appear. To come like this. Okay, good. Now this is quite smaller. It's because I've zoomed in. You see that it's actually smaller. So I've zoomed out. Now you see that it's small. But I want it to be, check this, I want to evaluate this, and check this, we want to show something. You see that one is bigger than the other. So if I want to reset everything back to default, I'll just come here and put this option, reset style. See that it's now bigger. So it's back to default. So when you're using PHF theorem, you will experience that. Now, I want to reference the proof. Which theorem am I proving? We have theorem 1 here. I've told you what to use for referencing throughout in LaTeX. Use label. Label. So I say you can put anything you want there, but that's what you will be calling on for life. Say you want to put FTA1 or FTP, whatever. So let's use these jargons. Or you can even put a jargon. So it doesn't matter what you put there. It doesn't matter what you put there now. You want to show this now. You want to reference this theorem. Put asterisk and you won't put this braces. So put this. That's how to reference your proof. So you see proof of what? Theorem 1. You see it came in what? Hyperref format. So let's go back to the presentation. So begin proof. This is how to reference your theorem. So I labeled this theorem 1. You can see it here. So I've practicalized it for you already. This is the label. Then this is the reference, referencing your proof. If you want to reference. If you don't want to reference, I've told you that options can be deleted earlier on. Now, macros. This is our last discussion. Macros. So not our macros. I will say macros. Now, macros are user-defined commands that allow you to custom shortcuts in LaTeX. So as I said at the beginning of this presentation, tech was created, invented, whatever English you want to use. So tech was created by who? Donald North in about 1972. So the language was quite difficult to understand. Formatting was, you have to focus on formatting. To do this Beamer would have taken me longer time using tech itself. So Leslie Lamport was the one that wrote the macro language of what? Of tech. So good. So LaTeX is a macro language of tech. Good. So that's what macros is. Like, it makes things easier. Shortcuts, like shortcuts. Good. Now let's look at this now, declaring macros. How do we declare macros? We have something like this now, new command, macro name, the number of arguments, and the definition. I brought an example here. This is new command. It will always be in the preamble. So new command, then you put backslash greet, the macro name. You want to call it greet. Then you put one. One means it is taking one argument. Then you now put this now, the definition, hello, then you put this #1. And you put greet Abdul Hafiz. What will it produce? Hello, Abdul Hafiz. That's what it will produce. So you can try it out on your own. Now, these are macros. Instead of writing hello, Abdul Hafiz, what do I do? I do new command, backslash greet, number of arguments it is taken, hello, and I put *1. So I use that to greet myself. So let's continue. How do you define values? Okay. Now, which value will it take? Good. Perhaps you want it to take hello guest forever. Then you will put this guest after the number of arguments here. This number. So after I put guest. So whenever it's standing on its own, what will it print? It will print hello guest. Whenever you put greet Abdul Hafiz, what will it print? It will print this one. So you can see how to set default values for macros arguments. I think we should try one of these. Okay, good. So now reuse existing command. So you can use renew command. I'll actually show this. So this is this slide 47 out of 50. So I'll show these last ones. So renew command, existing macro, new definition. Now, for example, people that are writing their projects, perhaps in mathematics department, they'll be using the report document class. And in report document class, whenever you want to write your bibliography or your references, and you use this manual style, there's an automatic way of doing it. We have BibLaTeX. So it's also wide, but it's very easy to do, actually. So now, begin the bibliography, end the bibliography, this bib item. Maybe you want to cite your first bibliography, say an article. You can, whatever, it's like your reference. This space is for referencing. Good. You know what it means now. Like this now, it means that you are not citing that article, you are just adding it to your bibliography. Some people do that. But nowadays, I think in mathematics, you have to cite your references. Good. Now, first bibliography, we have this now. If you are using this command in your report, perhaps you are writing a mathematics project, your undergraduate project, and you use this command. What you will have in your bibliography is that it will give you, the output will be what? The output will be bibliography. You won't have references. And your department is like, hey, this boy, yeah, we want references from you. What is the meaning of a bibliography? So how do you do that? So you don't need to try, you just come here and renew the command here. Say bib name. You want the bib name to stop being bibliography. You want it to be references. So let's show this. These are the last things I need to show. Should we start from macros? Let's do macros. So We come here, new command, create. Let's share my screen now. I didn't do it before coming here, though. So let's say new command, greet, number of arguments. Hello. I put hash 1. So now you come here, you write, let's put it in that exercise. You say greet. So you see it here now. So this is the first thing I showed you the other time. So you see that it is working perfectly fine here now. So let's say I put guests. So you guys are my guests here. So I say Zoom members. So I say greet. Let me check some. I'm missing. Okay. So now there's a difference between these two codes here. You see there's an exclamation here. So I think I missed that out.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hafiz.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I think we really gone past the time allotted for this event. I want to believe we all have something good to take from this engagement. I want to appreciate everyone who has supported this effort. We sincerely appreciate you all, and those who have joined the event from I was very impressed when I saw I'm trying to share the results. Mr. Safi, can you stop sharing your screen?
Okay, yeah, I can.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, looking at the places we have all joined this effort, it's quite impressive. When I looked at the cities, let me try and share the results with us so that we can see the cities we have all joined this session. Let me share my screen so that we can see that. Okay, good. Yeah, we've got people joining from Ilorin, Kano, Manchester, Kogi, Osogbo, Somalia. It's quite impressive. We've got people from Kwara State University, Sadat Rimi, Federal Polida. This is it shows that the people are really interested in LaTeX. Considering the challenges a lot of people have faced using this tool, and with this kind of effort now, you can actually see that there are so many people who are still interested in using LaTeX. This is not going to be a one-off training. We'll try and see how we can bring all of us together. We have all your emails, so we can send further information to us. We will reach out to us as quickly as possible. The recording will be shared, and the material will also be shared. And we'll also share the contact of our resource persons. Thank you so much. We can welcome contribution from participants. If you want to speak, you can signify. Thanks so much. Any contribution from any of our online participants? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this is Success Olorire talking. I really appreciate this workshop. It's very, very exciting. And thank you for promising to send the material and the video recording. This will help a lot to to develop what's it called, the skill in writing the LaTeX. So personally, I really appreciate you, and we'll be looking forward to get more of such seminar. Thank you very much, sir.
Most welcome. Yeah, Tahir Mohammed.
Thank you very much for this opportunity given to us. I would like to appreciate the organizers and also the presenter, Brother Abdul Hafiz, for the work well done. My own contribution, or it's in form of a questions, I don't know, because majority of the thing that Brother Abdul Hafiz has been doing, I normally do them on Word, but there was a time I picked up this LaTeX, because I was told that in UI, if you are coming for postgrad, that is what you use for your thesis and others. I tried to learn it, but on the long run, I could not even do anything, even up to now. Please, we would like this program to come up again, so that as we are practicing what we learned today, we can also continue doing that. This is a wonderful, in fact, so wonderful, especially when it comes to Beamer. In fact, I'll start using it from now. Thanks so much for this great opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. So, Hafiz, you want to respond to that? Just let me do that thing. Okay.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we will be having these sessions quite often, and for those in Ibadan, we plan to have a physical session very soon. Although this event was initially planned as an hybrid, but for some administrative and technical challenge, we had to suspend the physical session. So the physical session will come up very soon, and also we'll have subsequent sessions that will be made. We'll start on a very what I call it, beginners level. You know, for today it was almost like high level. You know, because we're trying to show you all the possibility in 2 hours. So the subsequent session could be a 1-week program, 2 hours every day. We'll give you adequate notice for such events. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Olajide, you can speak up, sir.
Hello, it's Dr. Olajide Ashim from Abuja.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I would like to appreciate organization of this program, because this it might be something that is new to us. Let me say in UI, or let me say even say in Nigeria. This is something that has been people have been using. If you look at those that are into research, if you look at the font that is being used, you see that most of the international publications usually come in this font formats and the table format and all that. So, but it's just that now is becoming popular in Nigeria, and I think it's very because for some development organizations, they usually require this LaTeX what's it called, knowledge, even for contracting to do some work. So it will be a very good advantage for us, those of us that are here. And I really appreciate, just like someone mentioned, that it is good that it won't start at a beginner's level, wherein you really look at a document. Maybe we have like a research document. We look at what is being written right from the beginning, introduction to the end. You know, there are some tables that may be really complex, and there are some times that you need to produce regression tables. You have to link it to Stata. You have to link sometimes to how. So I think you start with the beginner's level. One will really appreciate what this LaTeX can actually do, and it's a very important skill that is actually sought after internationally. Thank you very much for organizing it. Thanks.
HMD Global. Okay, there's a name, so you can speak up.
Okay. Well done, sir. Well done to the presenter. Really appreciate you sharing your knowledge. Comment is like it's more of a question. It's a question anyway. I would like to ask, because you took us on, are we going to use the same test
We didn't get that. That's not clear. We didn't get that.
Okay. For writing Beamer is different from writing normal LaTeX because Beamer is for presentation. Now, my question is it possible for someone to convert your LaTeX document to Beamer? That's the first question. Then second question, can we use the same text editor we use for our LaTeX also for Beamer presentation? That's my question.
I don't know if Lafis got that question. If you did, please go ahead and respond.
Okay, I'm here. So what's the question?
Okay, you didn't get the question. My question is it possible to convert your LaTeX document to Beamer presentation directly by just changing the command? And the second question is the demonstration you did for us during the presentation.
Yes.
I think you use text work as the text editor. Is it the same?
Could you write this down? It's like the audio is actually low from your end.
Exactly. Maybe she can drop it on the chat.
Can you write it? Maybe you should write it in the chat box. Write that in the chat box. Let me see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I want to add this for the LaTeX setup. There are some cases whereby you might not be able to get some of the package you need. So I just want to add that there is an online resource you can use. It's called Overleaf. It's just like Google Doc for LaTeX. So you can just register there and get started with typing your documents. And there are some other templates you can use to get started. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Rashid. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone. So I want to appreciate everyone who has been part of this journey in the last 2 hours. I think this is a convenient place to draw the curtain. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining this session. Bye-bye.